Hello, and welcome to Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse. I am your host, Eric Tenkar. We are waiting on Glen. Glen has real life going on in the background. Nothing bad, just parental responsibilities don't stop when your children are adults. So give Glen a few minutes to get here. In the meantime, I shall do what I can to give some general news updates that people have been emailing me with and otherwise. So I don't normally follow D&D Beyond all that much. And the reason why I don't follow it all that much is because I don't play 5e. That being said, I can pretty much guarantee you that Wizards of the Coast is trying to find a way to either buy out D&D Beyond or replicate its functions within the company. It's going to probably be part of their new VTT that they did like a stealth announcement with when they were doing their last survey. But D&D Beyond got hit with bad press. They did a tweet earlier this week that wish you could make your own portrait frame for the D&D Beyond character sheet until 8/18. Submit your original frame design for a chance to win one of 10 prize packs and have your design come to life on D&D Beyond. Visit the link and submit and learn more. Now, I haven't read the link because literally I just got this minutes before the show, but I fully suspect that all entries are the property of D&D Beyond. So I don't know if you can see some of the comments below that this thing has been getting. Pay your artists. Good Lord, you have more money than anyone else in tabletop RPGs. Just pay your damn artists. Have you generally considered just, hiring and paying artists? Well, they had to, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it fall on the sword, but they they had to remove the contest. And here, I'm going to drop this in here. We've heard your feedback, and we are pulling the contest. Thank you for sharing your comments and concerns regarding our anniversary frame contest. While we wanted to celebrate fan art as a part of our upcoming anniversary, it's clear that there are disagreements with the way we approached it. We've heard your feedback, and we are pulling the contest. We will also strive to do better as we continue to look for ways to showcase the passion and creativity of our fellow D&D players and fans in the future. Our team is taking this as a learning moment, and our future fan celebrations will be better because of it. Your feedback is absolutely instrumental to us, and we are always happy to listen and grow in response to our community's needs and concerns. Thank you all again for giving us the opportunity to review this event and change our direction. Now, again, I'm smiling because you can be damn well sure they were going to take ownership of all entries, and you kind of have to, right? If you don't say all entries are the property of D&D Beyond, you put yourself in legal issues. If you wind up like, well, here's the 10 winning entries, but we're going to show the top 20 because we think they're all cool. Well, yeah, but you don't own any of the entries. Well, we own the winners. Is really that how the contest works? No, you own all the entries. It's like submitting something unsolicited to a gaming company. Unsolicited manuscripts, either they don't read them or the policy is going to be you submit it, we pretty much own it, right? So, yes, again, thank you all for the birthday wishes. If you had asked me in May of 2020, would I be celebrating my 53rd, let alone my 54th birthday, I would have been like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad I'm here to be doing stuff like this. I'm glad that we moved the podcast to video and doing these live streams. I think the interactive is awesome. Stomping on rakes is funny. Ty, you know, yeah, these are self-inflicted wounds, really, right? That's what this comes down to, and I don't want to say I find it amusing, but I find it amusing that a company this size would be of the tone deaf size. Like, I could run a contest like this, and I'm not going to get that kind of pushback because people know I am not the richest person in tabletop RPGs, and pretty much the monies that I give away or spend on projects are monies that are raised from the community. It goes right back to it. Um, D&D Beyond is extremely profitable, and again, this is why I truly believe Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro wants the D&D Beyond money. And stepping on your private parts is, not a great way to I don't know, and ensure your continued importance in this. This is just a black eye on D&D, right? And it was a black eye on Wizards of the Coast, even if Wizards of the Coast wasn't the ones that did the black eye. I don't know. I mean, and I'm not all that. Let me see. We're talking frame design. So we're not talking your actual art. We're talking graphic artists that do frames for POG, so round frames, right? So really, how important is that? Or isn't that? So, God. Sorry, I gotta take a sip of diet soda. My health is doing much better. Actually, Rach and I, we went down to our local pub, our community pub, for lunch, and I bought around for our regular friends down there, and then they started buying stuff back for us, and that's when I was like, time out. Yeah, I can't drink like I used to, so you can like owe me rounds for later, like buy me next time you see me, buy me in Rage, because I had to tap out. I mean, you have to, especially now, remember your limits. Ty, I don't think I'd let Twitter Twitch crash my contest, but that's just me. Well, that's just it. This contest was announced on Twitter, right? So let's be honest. It isn't just Twitter twits. There are companies that do their business via Twitter. So this was being announced on Twitter. So you're going to get Twitter twits. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a shame, but you're going to get it, and you're going to get angry mobs, and they're going to mobilize. There isn't too much you can do to get around that. So either you appease the mob or you let them rant. But the problem is you yourself as a company already put this up on Twitter. So if you pull it off of Twitter, then you're losing it. And now here's something that I'm going to remark. Looking at this, there's only 145 responses in 2 days. So you got to figure they're not all angry responses. A lot of them, small number of likes in those comments though, and that's true. But the Twitter mob gets a lot of weight that isn't really in response to their numbers. And I don't think that is right, but that is the current world we live in. And the same thing goes to a large extent to Facebook and also other social media. You don't need a large angry mob to be influential. When I was younger, when I was starting playing D&D, it was the moral majority, right? The moral majority was to be feared, and moral majority was a minority, but they were a loud minority. And they had learned how to use the current media at that time to manipulate corporations, companies, sometimes even local and federal government decisions, based upon their control of the media. Hold on. We're going to get live from Glen. Yes, Glen.
I'll be back. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'm there.
All right, we'll see you soon. I'm entertaining people at the moment, so we'll see you soon. I'm entertaining people at the moment. We'll see you when you get here.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Glen is 5 to 10 minutes out. So, again, the moral majority was more influential than its numbers should have allowed. Twitter and Facebook, especially these two, allow small vocal minorities to have much more influence than they ever should, and we allow it. Yes, D&D Wizards of the Coast is nothing if not responsive to the loud minority. Now, it's something that oh geez, do I even have it around me? No, I got a new book I have to review, and I can't even remember the name of it. But I got an early release copy. It's a sizable Gothic colonial, what might be the name of it, RPG that uses the Zweihander rule set to power it, and it looks like it's going to be an interesting setting. But there is an appeasement to the vocal minority in it, and I don't know how I feel about that yet, because I understand why, and at the same time they give it, and at the same time they also kind of say we're appeasing, and at the same time it's your game, do what you want. So I don't know, but that will probably come up in the next week or so. You need a little flickering birthday candle on screen. No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, no. I don't want a flickering birthday candle. Listen, like I told Rach, the best part about my birthday today was my birthday today. Okay, the family, my friends, my community, doing stuff like this is all why I'm happy. I don't need gifts. I don't need candles. I don't need cake. I simply need to be and to share, and that's the blessing here. So now I'm going to go to something completely different, because for those that know me and know of my history, there are certain people in this industry that I've butted heads with a lot. Vince Florio was one of those who, before Vince and I actually became podcast partners, Vince and I were, I don't know how you, not even oil and vinegar. We were really, pissing in the other's whiskey or whatever. I mean, it was bad. But generally speaking, folks are going to go Tenkar and Venger. Oil and vinegar, right? We've had our moments. But I got to give Venger a lot of credit. I really do, because unlike TSR 3, which has announced a convention, last month, way back in June, with a date TBT, to be terminated or to be TSR'd. No date, just horticultural hall, and maybe we'll have many dates. Venger has been talking about doing a VengerCon, and Venger has announced a VengerCon. He's actually has a venue. It's in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, I knew about this a couple of days ago, because V reached out to me and said, hey, I'm going to be doing this con, and I'm going to be announcing it this weekend. It's going to be next July, and these are the dates, and I'm real excited. And you know what? You should be excited, because he's done something that TSR was talking shit about, and Venger actually did it. So it's going to be July 22nd, 23rd, 24th. It's a 3-day convention. Badges are $100. There's already a link to the tabletop events platform. So if you go to vengersantanis.blogspot.com, you can go and you can hit his blog. You can go to the link. He's looking at about, I think he's going to max it at 100 people. He's got a hotel. It's a Hilton. It's on, I forget the highway, So it's not in downtown Madison. It's like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes outside of downtown Madison, but still, I guess, within the Madison confines, at least for mapping purposes. So I give him credit too. It's going to focus on old school OSR and traditional RPGs without politics or safety tools. Sounds good to me so far. My goal is to not only provide space for excellent gaming, but also to foster gaming excellence. There will be morning workshops on how to do everything, such as GM, be a player, and write adventures. Like a fucking boss. Yes, Venger has to be Venger. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that's bad. But you're gonna have the Venger attitude at the con. I've met him in person. I had breakfast with him at GaryCon a number of years ago. It was actually very pleasant. So I considered lowering the age requirement to 16, but for right now it's 18 plus. Each standard admission badge, 100 max, is $100, and that's for the entire weekend. The hotel is nice and conveniently located. We have a large room, a medium-sized room that can be divided in half, and a smaller room for our gaming needs. There might be a handful of vendors and special guests. I don't know how much in the way of vendors. V is not stressing this convention to be a convention for buying products. Obviously, V's gonna have his product for sale, right? He's a businessman, but he's not gonna be worrying about a huge vendor hall. He said there might be a handful of vendors and special guests, but primarily, VengerCon is about gaming, getting the most out of our games, making incremental improvements, and showing the world just how awesome old school gaming can be. Thanks for checking it out, asking questions, commenting, and continuing to support me and my work. So, I'm actually interested. I'm not saying I'm going to go, and I'm not saying I'm not going to go. There's enough there for me to say it's next summer. We'll see how the world looks right then and there, right? Maybe it looks good. Maybe it looks like shit. But it's Madison, Wisconsin in the summertime. And that's not a bad place to be. Now, if we went, it would be me and Rach. We'd probably have to arrive Wednesday or Thursday and get to explore the area. I'd probably have to rent the car for the first couple of days at the very least. So, I don't know. It wouldn't be bad. It'd be nice to see another old school convention crop up. I think that would be nice to see. And one that I suspect will be well run. V does a lot of things. He has done his ways of promotion that haven't always been the best, but I suspect that he's getting better at it. And I believe, without further ado, the man, the legend, the grognard, Glen Hallstrom is in the house.
I'm
Glen
really hating people right now.
You're not allowed to hate people. You can only dislike them intensely.
And you just dumped me on the air like that? I was about ready to let loose with some cussing.
Glen, time out. All right? Listen, anybody who's listened to this channel has heard me say things that, well, fuck it. You know, me dropping the F-bomb is minor compared to some of the cursing rants I've said. If you want to hear me, and by the way, I'll warm the waters up for you.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, I'm going to just warm up slightly. All right, so one of the events that's been going on this week is TSR3 has started abandoning some of these graphical visual trademarks that they make such a big deal about, and they were going to license out. This was going to be an income stream. And now they're abandoning trademarks that they had secured. So, what does that mean? Well, I would say it means that they got slapped by Wizards of the Coast for IP, infringing on the IP. And I couldn't be happier than fucking shit to see somebody have to comply with the law. So now I shared it. I spoke about this the other night, and I put this up in the tavern's Facebook group, and there were two individuals who were like, well, aren't we done with this? Is this an obsession?" Because I guess they're apologists for TSR 3, and I don't give a fuck. Okay.
And anybody
and
knows that anybody knows
what?
who listens to my show, as I was going to say, anybody who knows who listens to my shows, that I don't cuss on the air.
But Glenn, you have
But
special
you go
dispensation.
right. No,
You have
I ain't gonna use it. Ain't gonna use it. Ain't
All
gonna
right, all
use
right,
it.
all right. So now here, I'm gonna curse for Glenn.
Now,
I don't
let
know.
me.
I don't know who I'm gonna curse at.
Well,
All right.
you have me intrigued now. When did these people show up?
What, the ones on Facebook in the community?
No, you said something about an obsession with yours.
Oh
You have
no,
an
they were.
obsession.
I have an obsession with TSR3. Is what their
Was
complaint is that.
that last night in Tavern Chat?
No, it wasn't in Tavern Chat. It was in the
Oh,
Facebook
okay,
community.
okay. I was gonna go.
Yeah.
Wow, it must have happened after I left.
No,
But
no. It wasn't. It wasn't in Tavern. But it's funny. Not again. If you know me and you've been following the tavern for as long as you have, as long as
Yeah.
it's been around in various forms, you know the best way to get my attention, my undying attention, is to threaten me with fucking legal action. Because you threaten me with fucking legal action, and it is fucking legal action because it isn't a real legal action. Because if it was a real legal action, I would have been served by somebody over bullshit, and I know where that line is drawn. So when they make these threats, it tells me that they're hiding something, and fuck the algorithms. I know the algorithms don't like cursing. When I get to 100, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll worry about censoring myself, and then the old episodes will obviously fall off the charts. But I'm not too worried because monetizing is not my driving goal. If I monetize, the goal is going to be to find a way to put that money back into the community. So, in the meantime, I curse. So,
well,
I don't know who Glenn wants to curse out, but I will call them.
it's just been a day. That's all.
It's been fuck the day. Okay, even though it is my Hobbit birthday, and
I didn't even get a chance to say happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Glenn. No, I mean, Glenn, I'll be honest with you. One of the best things about 2020 was starting these live streams with Mike and you and Joe. I mean, this has been a huge outlet for me, and it's been a great response from the community. So my 2020 started out good, became real shitty pretty fast, and then got much better. And James Bond told me last night. He's like, you know what? You're healthier at 54 than you were at 52, and he's right. he's right. Little thing like a heart attack and congestive heart failure changes your life around. So I'm just taking a breath, Glenn.
He's right.
So
I know you are. You need to. You've had a lot going on.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'll wave the healing hand over you. There you go.
Well, see, that's what I like. That's what I need.
I'm in training for this new job, this home work job that I don't know. I'm kind of a little stressed out over it, I guess. And I got a munchkin over there trying to come in. We have the granddaughters here, plus my little tiny grandson. So that adds to the stress.
Oh yes. Well, certainly. I understand it. Well, listen, I had uncle duties yesterday. I had to watch my niece for a couple of hours, and she's 10, so that's it. I just had to keep her busy. Otherwise, she's on her tablet all the time. So I was like, Shannon, why don't you take Uncle for a walk around your neighborhood and point stuff out? And I get this girl is going to make either a great cop or a really great role player because she's very observant. And she's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, uncle, over in that house, the husband from over here down the block, he was over at this house sitting in the yard with the woman from this house, and I think they might be having an affair." I was like, "Really?" Yes. And the guy who owns this house, he's obsessed with his lawn, and he'll pick pieces of grass out of his driveway for hours, and he cuts his lawn every 2 to 3 days. I was like, "Are you watching this on a daily basis?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, "Wow, you're gonna make either a great cop or she's gonna be the type of role player that we want in our game." It's like, wow, she's picking up every breadcrumb I've thrown out. Holy crap! So yeah, it's gonna be interesting when she gets older, or
Oh yeah,
dangerous. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure which. So what we have up on the screen, Glenn, by the way, is
VentureCon. I see it.
VentureCon, and I actually knew about this a couple of days ago. Venture reached out to me and gave me an email heads up that he's going to announce it this weekend, and I'm impressed. I'm not saying I'm going to go. I'm not saying I'm not going to go, but I'm impressed.
It's probably nowhere I can get to for a short period of time, so I'm not going to worry about it. But
It's
carry
Madison,
on.
Wisconsin. It's Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So at least
Well, I know,
if
but
if you're somebody who already goes to Game Hall, it's a familiar general area. If you don't go to Madison, then obviously it's new. But I mean, at least it's an area that already has gaming established in it. It's not like some, I don't know, Lakewell and Pawpack, the Poconos. Not that I ever would have done a convention up there, but because there's no hotels in the area.
it'd be pretty though. I'd still love to go to your cabin and we could game in the woods. That'd be beautiful. Hint, hint.
Well, all right, Glenn. Well, maybe next. Well, let's see.
No,
either,
no, I
fall or
did. I
summer.
didn't say anything. Next thing I know, Becky's going to get on my case about. You shouldn't ask him that. But hey,
Why not? Please.
that's what
Listen.
that's what I say.
It's
Why
there.
not?
It's there. It's there to be used, and my parents are. I'm
I've
sure
been
would be
j-
happy to show off the new kitchen at their place.
I've been jonesing for the outdoors anyway. Now I got it. Now I'm starting a job. I can't get away, even if it is part time.
Well, and here's the
Anyway,
thing. I mean, here we are. We're at the end of July, right? Middle of the summer, right? The
yeah.
midsummer point, and I haven't gone away yet this summer. I got the house in the Poconos. My parents are up there 3 weeks out of 4 so far
Hmm.
between like June and July. Probably not going to see them until they come back in mid-August. And Rachel and I just haven't had the opportunity to get up there. We've had a lot of stuff going on here, so it just hasn't been stuff going on to
I
get
hear
us
you.
up
I hear you.
there.
We got the move to deal with. So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so Uh, 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 well, my son with his impeccable timing, he can't say he didn't wish me happy birthday. He's already called me twice, which is a beautiful thing. So,
Is it?
but
Is it?
it is at least on your birthday. I mean,
Well,
maybe
what
a
do you
little
want?
on
We
your birthday.
born you, we raised you. What do you want?
Yes, So, if you're 54 today, that makes you most likely a Sun Leo and a Moon Taurus, which means today is your lunar return too, not
You
just
must be
solar.
the tail. You must be the tail end of. I'm a Taurus. End of April. How does that make you a Taurus? All the way over here in the end of July.
I don't know. End of July is the beginning of Leo. I know that. I don't. I know Leos are supposedly leaders, and such. Yep, that's my birthday. Though Social Security was off by one day, and
Oh,
oh yeah, and I only realized that when I was trying to file taxes online a couple of years ago, and I couldn't get it to file. I had to mail it in, and then when Social Security used to send you that, I don't know, that recap every couple of years, I finally actually read it and went, hey, they got my birthday wrong. I'm off by a day. So at the moment, because I finally got around to trying to fix it, to fix my birthday, I needed to send my original birth certificate and my driver's license in the mail to Social Security, and then give them 2 weeks to get back to me. So it's going to be fun. I'll try not to get in any trouble while driving. So, my moon is in Taurus, sun is in Leo. All right, that's interesting.
Astrology software. Check it out, Robbie says. Astrology.
Astrology. You know what? I years ago I dated a girl who was a bit into astrology, and actually she was a Taurus, but
Yeah.
I never really followed it. I always remembered what the heck? I actually what's my sign on the Chinese calendar? Goat or something like that. I forget. But
I was just glancing at this VentureCon here. He's charging for the whole weekend $100.
Yep.
Is that right? Oh my God! Another reason I'm not going.
Well, and listen, I gotta say, I understand why it's going to be a small con, 100 people. He had to secure the venue.
Yeah.
And from
Still,
what I got, he's probably not doing much of a vendor room. So he's got to. I don't think V's going to make much of a profit on this one.
Okay. More power to him then.
Yeah, my suspicion, and I'm not saying I'm suspicious about V, but I suspect this is more about gaining V validity in the community, and it's a great way to do it. I mean, listen, Joe the lawyer and I have been talking, half joking, and we were half serious about getting a pub con going at my local pub. And I had inquired about the room rates, and I brought Joe down one time so we could look at the party room, and we were trying to estimate. We could probably have done a con of about 60 people comfortably. But now there's no longer a party room because of COVID. They gave up that other side because it was a separate rent. It was a separate building that was adjacent.
Right.
So they no longer have the party room, so there's no chance of doing a convention there. And I don't know I would have gotten at least the friends and family rate for that venue. So I don't know, but I'd like to see how V pulls this off and how that first one goes. I'm going to be following it closely.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
but hey, I wish him luck. I wish him a good con. Sounds like fun, actually.
Hey, I like the idea that it's going to be a place without politics or safety tools. So no X cards. Basically, if you're running a game, and I think he had this. Yes. Okay. That is the tabletop event site. Convention will be not using any kind of X cards, checklists, or safety tools for children since it's an 18+ event. If the GM has prepared controversial, provocative, or edgy content, simply state that along with the event description. Additionally, we ask that politics be left at the door. Continually disruptive or antagonistic attendees will be asked to leave. Again, I give him credit.
It's going to be on trust.
Yeah, and that is what being an adult is about, right? I mean, not to get too far into the weeds here, but I mean, the whole idea of safe spaces does not exist in the real world. All right, you can't walk down the street and expect that you're in a safe space where nothing's going to happen to you.
But there are panic rooms.
There are panic rooms, and that's. But like you ride the New York City subway system, there is no safe space. You're not going to avoid the homeless kooks that are going to be panhandling and asking you for money or sleeping on a bench. And if you spend your formative years believing that you are entitled to a safe space, when you're thrown out into the real world's going to come along and just give you a slap in the face and knock you to the ground. And that's not the fault of the real world. That's the fault of you being brought up with this idea that you have a right to a safe space. I don't know. I'm not. I have issues with that whole safe space mentality because I guess I grew up in New York City. There was no safe space. You had to be aware of your surroundings. I remember a couple times nearly getting mugged. My father got mugged in the subway when I was a kid because he wasn't paying attention. So safe spaces are an illusion in the real world.
Yet they have safe spaces for children. I've seen them.
Yeah, and
maybe that's the difference.
Well, colleges are supposed to be a safe space where you should be, pampered or kept away from ideas that might threaten your views. I always saw college.
Once again, the ideals of the '60s corrupted in the 2000s.
Well, I never even looked at it that way. But you are
right. The '60s were a hotbed of student unrest, and they had a good reason to it, I thought at the time. But then the line gets pushed further and further and further and further until next thing you know, you have the thought police and that kind of thing.
I mean, people have been surprised when I've said this, but when I was a college student back in the late '80s, I was a student activist. I was part of the New York Public Interest Research Group. I occupied our campus, went down and occupied the John Jay campus once we lost our campus. I mean, I was involved in a lot of political events as a student. And I believe that, that's the time to do it before the real world. And that's part of the problem. The real world will not necessarily corrupt you, but the real world will hit you with the real world, and you realize that, well, maybe I'm fighting for certain things as a student, but on the larger perspective, there's bigger issues in our tuition, or I don't know, the trees lining the highway being taken down to add an extra lane for traffic. It's you.
Yeah.
What is the saying that a conservative is a liberal that was the victim of a violent crime? I don't know how true that is, but I worked command as a sergeant that had two areas. It was in Harlem, so you had this really dangerous section, and then you had Columbia University, so you had this really nice section, and they butted up against each other. And a lot of times, we'd have students, prospective students, looking for housing, and they would check out a cheap apartment in the daytime. And they'd be like, oh, wow, this is on St. Nick Terrace, and it's only 8 blocks from campus. I can walk to campus. Oh, and it looks so nice. It looks convenient. And then they don't realize that when the lights go down and the local life comes out, that it's they're dealing crack at the corner. Because and a lot of these students were coming from the Midwest. They didn't have the common sense that a lot of the big city students would have had. Going, I got to see this at night. I got to know what this place looks like 24/7, not just when the sunlight's out, making everything back off. But we went. I guess we truly are in the weeds.
I find there's just some things about the '60s I find fascinating, and
I find the movies fascinating.
Well, I believe it or not, I'm a big fan of Easy Rider.
Great movie. Haven't seen it in like 20 years, but yeah.
I know, but once you see it, you get a whole different perspective on it.
I'm gonna watch it with adult eyes.
I bought I got I got a DVD of it one time, which came with a book from the British Film Institute about Easy Rider in the '60s. They made some
Right.
real good points in there about how the movements of the '60s was basically a core of people who really believed in these values, and all these other young hangers-on who's just in it for the sex, drugs, and rock and roll and free love
Right.
and all that, and they didn't really believe in it. So that's what basically gave them a bad name.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, there, and I think that we have a lot of that even today. I
Mm-hmm.
think that the true believers in any movement,
Movement.
especially political or cultural, the true believers are the ones that make the movement move, but
Mm-hmm.
they aren't. They're the minority. The hanger-ons, the ones that are transitional, they're in
Mm-hmm.
it because they need meaning in their life. I mean, I think that's a lot of times what we see the Twitter mob. All right, because
Mm-hmm.
earlier before you got on, we were talking about the D&D Beyond Twitter mob that popped up because they were looking for people to do character frames for the portraits on character sheets
Mm-hmm.
and I guess pogs, but
Box.
they were doing it as a contest, and they
Mm-hmm.
got pushback right away. Pay your artists. Good Lord, you have more money than anybody in tabletop RPGs. Just pay your damn artists. Have you generally considered just, hiring and paying artists? I
Well,
don't think their
I kind of
intention
agree with
was
that.
to.
Being an artist myself.
Yeah. All right, well, then good. And here's the conversation. Now, do you think, I'm pretty sure that every entry you enter, I haven't dug into this, but I think it's safe to say that every entry is owned by D&D Beyond. Right? So if you enter, you're giving copyright, intellectual property rights. Oh, the competition has ended, so I can't look up and find, because they pulled the competition. I can't find what the contract would have said.
Okay. Probably
I
would.
can't
I
find.
believe it would.
Yeah.
Probably,
So,
the whole you give up your rights and all that kind of crap.
which I get as an artist, I understand the issue, and I don't understand either. Is the 10 prize packs? I don't know what the prize packs were, but if they weren't physical, if these were all digital prize packs, and this comes to somebody who sells PDFs, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm giving away digital stuff has this cost. All right, there's a cost to design it. Don't get me wrong. There's a cost to create it.
There's a
But
cost to
once
buy
you
it too.
right, but once you've recouped your cost, it doesn't have a new cost. Like I can duplicate a file for Swords and Wizardry Continual Light, and I could give away 10 copies, 100 copies, 1,000 copies, or can sell 1,000 copies. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't cost me to make additional copies of that file
You're right.
or
You're
send out
right.
additional copies of that file. So if you're giving away 10 prize packs and all these prize packs are digital, the actual value to you as an artist is zip, nada. You're not getting paid for your work, which is a point that these others are saying here. You're not getting paid for your work, and if they're paying you in a digital prize, the value is nothing.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. It's just, pay your artists. That's all I got to say. When I did a lot of stage acting in the community,
Right?
and I was pretty much used to the producer puts on the show, but they pay the director, they pay the stage hands, they pay the stage manager and stuff like that. You know what the actors got? A
What?
stipend at the end of the run.
At the
And
end.
we were happy to get it. I was lucky to clear $50.
Jesus.
And this was out of, what they get paid out of the box office. I mean, everybody gets paid, but, like the director has a certain amount. He said, I think he signs a contract, and this isn't union, So I'm kind of used to not getting paid for my work. But when it comes to, art, I'd like to get paid for my work because it's not a performance. It's something you can see and feel and look at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got some worth. Please pay for it.
And you can damn well be sure that they were going to, even if they didn't sell your work later, even if they were just going to give it away, they're going to be giving it away in a way that monetizes it. All right.
Yep.
Again, there's ways to do that. I worked retail before I became a cop. I worked retail for 8.5 years, and initially I worked in electronics, and I got to know our buyers for the department store. Stern's department store was New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and I think some stores in northeastern PA at the time. Now it's all part of Macy's. They're changed the names, but in any case, I would talk to our corporate buyers, and I would get to understand some of the marketing strategies. And back then, again, electronics, 20-inch TV sets, Magnavox were shit. But you could buy something as a retailer for $179 and sell it for $179 at cost, which really means you're losing money because you had to transport it, you had to store it, and you gotta sell it. So you're paying people like me to sell it, but you don't care and you're not going to be buying enough to last the whole sale. You're going to buy a reasonable amount, like maybe 20 per store, which you'll probably sell out with at a price like that within a couple of hours. But then you'll bring, we're sold out on that. Quantities were limited. But you're in the store.
It's a loss leader. I used to work for Fry's Electronics. I know what a loss leader is.
Yep. Just to get you in the door, because once you're in the door, even if you're not using a hard sale on people, we weren't a company that did hard sales, but you're in a department store. Electronics was on the 4th floor of this department store. You had to go through 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors, and maybe even the basement if you were really catching the whole place. You were going to be hit with other items to buy, so it was certainly it was a good method. I don't know if I don't see loss leaders as much as you used to. I mean, I guess you'll see it on Black Friday sales.
Oh yeah,
But even then, I don't know. Cause I'm supposed to say like Amazon pricing, and we can talk about Amazon's pricing because here's something that I forgot to mention. I like to get your feedback on this, Glenn. I'm going to probably be posting about this later on.
It stinks. No.
Tonight. No, it probably does. Let me get
Humble
back
bundle.
Humble bundle. So here's the
See,
new.
I don't do humble bundles very often because I know they're all digital and I'd rather have physical. But when I do it, I do know what I'm getting into. And I will do it for a reason. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to see why can't I get to the full bundle page showing me every part of this goddamn bundle. Why does it take me right to the pay box? I don't know.
It loves you.
Well, here's the thing: the beginner box and one of their, setting books are available in physical for Starfinder for
really?
$50. Now yes. Now here's the thing:
I knew that game kind of tanked, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the price. That's why I wanted to. But I don't know why they're not allowing me to see everything. Because is that the issue with? Like, see other? No, all right. So, what is Humble Bundle pulling on me, man? Because it was a multi-priced bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weird. They're not. I wonder if it's the size of my screen here. But yeah, hard to share a screen when there's no content to share it with. But they're giving away hundreds, not giving away, but for $5, you can get the beginner box and a bunch of other content in the beginning of one of their adventure paths for $5. That's a great way to sample this package and see if Starfinder is right for you. Now, I have no interest in Starfinder. I don't play Pathfinder, but for $5, I'm probably willing to jump in and check it out and at least see what I can steal for other games. So it's annoying that I can't pull it up on the screen. Damn it!
Sorry to hear that, but that's incredible. I'm just thinking about it. I find that incredible.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was, why could it have been a game I cared about?
All right, so it is the screen size, but so here's the deal. For $5, you get the. Oh, actually, so you don't get the. For $5, you get the core rule book, not even the beginner box. You get the core rule book and a bunch of setting material and maps.
Mm-hmm.
All in digital. That's not bad. For $15, you get the GM screen and a bunch of other material and about half of the adventure path. For $30, they throw in a PDF of the beginner box and again, more setting material. I mean, I guess if you were going to do a Starfinder campaign, that's great. But then for $50, it's a Starfinder Packed Worlds hardcover, which goes for, I think, $30 on Amazon. Pathfinder Starfinder beginner box, also physical, that goes for $35 on Amazon. So now already, you and then all the digital content that goes with it. Shipping in the U.S. is about $17 for those two pieces through Humble Bundle, but I mean, if you think about it, you're getting, they're saying $422 in value for $50, plus you're getting a copy of the beginner box, which if it's anything like the two Pathfinder beginner boxes for Pathfinder 1 and Pathfinder 2, even if you don't play the games, they are really good resource boxes. Great to use if you need physical pogs, or even if you want to learn the Pathfinder game and have it understandable to somebody of the OSR level of gaming. It's written like that.
Welcome, Greg. How you doing?
Yep. And
Greg
Cal,
Gillespie's in the house, and Cal.
I gotta watch what I say about Canada and their interprovincial checkpoints. Probably coming to the United States at a state near you.
I saw an article. By the way, I saw an article that Disney and Disneyland, Disney World are re-implementing mask protocols.
I mean, we're gonna hate to step back into the real world, folks, but we have seen, if you look at prior data, and I'm not a medical professional, but we have seen that for the mask mandates, states that were masked compared to states that weren't masked, the numbers are pretty much spot on. All right, they're pretty similar. So it doesn't look like masking did all that much. And the whole point to getting vaccinated was so you wouldn't have to wear a mask. And I believe in the vaccine. I'm vaccinated. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm vaccinated. I got vaccinated because I wanted to return to a life.
I'm not going back. I did the vaccine. Took off the mask. Unless somebody specifically requests me to put it on, or I'm going into like a hospital, I'm not going to wear it.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. Listen, I wore it on the plane. I wore it at the airport.
I told you I started that part-time job. I had to go to the office for orientation, pick up my stuff. I had to wear a mask. That's the first time I put a mask on in like months.
Ignore that link that I just put out there. I was trying to get the link for because now we can have like.
Oh, now everybody's going to be in the show.
Yeah, no. Bree was talking about. I had to click that twice. Damn it. Picking up the Starfinder bundle. Now we wanted to drop a link to the Humble Bundle affiliate link. And as I said before, these monies go back into stuff that we do for the community. So if you do shop at Humble Bundle, if you can use the link, it puts a few coins in the tavern's pocket.
Few shekels.
Few shekels, some pieces of geld. Well, maybe not geld, maybe silver.
By the way, you already mentioned, how is Torchlight #1 doing?
Torchlight #1. Dun, 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 dun. We have sold 210 copies.
Please go buy one, folks.
It's on sale for the Christmas and July sale. And I'm happy with the sales figures. Sales earnings after paying for cover art, editing. Jeff did the layout for free, which he's not allowed to do anymore after this issue. He's got to get paid. And paying for the writers, I believe,
and artists.
Well, you're the cover art. Paying for the cover art. Your money.
Yeah, but don't you pay for the other?
No, it's all stock art. So I've already paid into that. The rest of that's all stock art.
Okay.
The internal art's all been stock art so far. So.
And I've got two more covers coming for the next 2 issues. So.
Excellent. I think that my earnings after costs for the month. Now this isn't only Torchlight issue #1. If we go from Torchlight just issue #1, my earnings are like $10, but it's like 65 if I go for everything that was sold this month, whether it was Torchlight 1, Torchlight Premiere, Swords and Wizardry, Continual Light. Because to me, those earnings are all, these things are selling because Torchlight is out. So there's peripheral sales, and that's...
Why don't you throw the link up there again for Torchlight 1?
You want me to do everything now? Hold on a second.
You got a faster computer. And don't forget, folks, Torchlight 0 is still out there, too, with some good stuff in it.
Yes. Otherwise known as Torchlight Premiere, because that was, to me... Well, I remember when I was collecting comic books, near the end of my comic book collecting... is that a career? Time? Whatever. Near the end of it, they were putting out ash cans. And ash cans were like issue 0 or whatever, and they were generally... the sneak peek of what you were going to get when the full...
I thought they threw those out.
Well, theoretically, ash cans were meant for just that, but then they started including them in Wizard and stuff like that. So, thank you, Bree, and that is the very long link for Torchlight issue #1.
I looked at the link. It says Torchlight issue 1.
Huh? Question? Well, these are either questions or ampersands throughout these links. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what the science is for that stuff.
Hey, as long as they get there and buy it, I don't care. And is it still half price?
If you go to, it's 30% off if you go through the link I just put up there. If you go to Tenkar's Tavern, the blog, and you go through the blog and you find the original post where I announced it from a couple of weeks back, 2 weeks back, 2.5 weeks back, the link for 50 off should still be there. I just don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
That was the easiest link to put up.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, no, it's been doing well. It's been well received. It is currently selling at silver. Issue 0, the premiere issue, is sitting at Electrum, which is pretty cool. And Swords and Wizardry Continual Light is sitting at gold. So
and Matt Evans, he of Mythgarther, loves Torchlight. He's used the tables in there. He loves Spawn's tables in there.
Oh, James Spawn's table. And I really wish that James could find a way to literally make game creation a full-time endeavor for himself, and
Same here. He does great work.
but I believe that for most likely for it's the United States, so which wouldn't apply in places like Canada, but for health insurance reasons, he's got to maintain a traditional employment. Because
Yeah.
he could probably make more if he was doing the gaming stuff full time, but that wouldn't necessarily translate to making more once you got to pay out your health insurance. So six of one, half dozen of the other.
I hear you.
It
I
isn't
really,
always to the benefit.
that's the kind of thing that makes me want to crank out artwork.
Well, Glenn.
But then I lie down and it goes away.
So Glenn,
Go.
Rach is working on getting herself at least a virtual yoga studio up and running, and then she was like, "Glenn's an artist. Do you think I can talk to Glenn about getting a piece of art to use for my yoga studio graphically?" And I'm like, I would like to talk to Glenn because talking to Glenn is like keeping it within the family,
Yay!
So Rachel will probably be talking with you over the weekend. Now tomorrow, I will be making
Some
a
artsy fartsy.
pilgrimage. Yes.
Oh,
Well,
really?
I'll be making a pilgrimage to a complete strategist in Manhattan with Rach, with Joe the lawyer, and I think his brother is coming along. I'm not 100% sure about his brother. I know Joe is definitely coming. And Professor Dungeon Master is coming. So
Professor. Is it professor or doctor?
I believe he's a professor.
You mean how to be a great GM?
How do you be a great GM?
No, I mean I watched his videos. It's like I didn't know he was in New York. Either that or he's visiting. Yeah. I don't know.
No, he's a New Yorker. So actually, Joe was the one that figured out that
you get a lot of good press out of him.
I certainly did, and I owe him a large portion of our viewership who works exposed, and I guess that's the language that I use. Maybe we can take exposed to different.
Yeah, well, if you can drop the name of Old Man Grognard while you're there, maybe I'll get a few more hits on my show.
Maybe we'll drop your name, Glenn, when we're at the bar and grill across the street from the Complete afterwards, having a little lunch.
Yeah, drop it right in the gutter.
Bum.
What did he write? He says he used to work for Dragon.
Oh, Professor
What
DM?
did he? Yeah.
Whatever
his name is. Oh, okay. Maybe it's a different guy. I don't know. But mention me anyway. Who knows? Who cares?
I will mention Glenn.
Radio Grognard could always use the help and the subscribers.
I'm sure he's seen you.
He's probably heard me. All the videos.
I think was it Shannon Applecline?
Matt, you're probably right. That's what I said. I'm probably talking about two different YouTubers.
You're mixing them up, Glenn. You got all these YouTubers in your minds.
There's a lot of them out there.
There are, and listen. The content on this channel is, I don't want to say raw, but it does not necessarily as refined as you're going to find on other channels. I don't do jump cuts because I don't edit. So all my uhs and ums are left in. So.
Well, no. How to be great. I'm thinking of Dungeon Craft. The guy you're talking about, Professor Dungeon Master. You're right. How to be a great GM. I didn't know he was South African. Oh well, sounds British to me. But yeah, totally lost my train of thought there.
Glenn, it happens to me on a daily basis at this point. Even before I turned 54, I was like going, all right.
That don't usually happen to me. What happens to me is walking into a room and I go, why? What am I getting?
Yeah, why am I here?
I'm going to go. I need a pair of scissors. I'm going to go halfway in the living room. What was I getting again?
Well, for me, the problem is I leave the house, I lock the door, and I walk down the steps and I go, Did I lock the door?
Oh, door.
And
I've done that with the garage.
Well, I've had that issue ever since I had Hodgkin's. I went through chemo. So chemo, I think I've mentioned this before. It made me more creative. It allowed me to write and blog and do all this other stuff. But I used to be able to read 3-4 books in a week. I would consume fiction. And now if I read 2 fiction books a year, that's a lot. I can't do long-term fiction anymore.
You know, you do the forgetfulness, you do the why did I come in here, but it never really happens at the game table. When I'm behind the screen, I'm sharp. I'm sharp as a tack.
Well, because you're focused, Glenn, and that's a part of the aspect, right?
True.
When you're focused, well, your brain synapses are like, all right, this is it. Yeah, you don't. As a player, I've had moments where I've just lost track and went, oh fuck, what's going on in the game? I have no fucking clue. I just zoned out, you know. But that's never happened to me as a DM. As a DM, you're in control. It's kind of like when you're driving, right? And you're driving a route that you know. It's second nature. Your subconscious takes over the driving aspect, and your conscious mind worries about whatever topics or the conversation you're having on the phone or with your wife or whatever, right? Because you know this route, and your brain. So I remember there were times when I was driving my son to school, and he'd be like, "Are we going to school or are we going to your job?" I mean, what do you mean? Because you're taking the route to work. I went, oh shit, you're right, I am.
Yeah, I've done that before. You get them crossed.
Right, because you're not taking conscious effort into thinking.
And I've got to say, in the early days, this is why I started bullet pointing all my prep. Because I would be doing, say, a module or something, and I go, oh shoot. That room, I should have told him about that. Oh, shoot, that monster should have done that as a special ability. I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
Except I did it last time I GM'd, except I did it. Had crab spiders attack. They killed him, but then afterwards I looked at the thing and I said, oh, they're supposed to drop from the trees. I forgot about that part.
Wow. Gerard, be good. Pool.
Take care.
Evil. Ugh, you should be watching from the pool, man. That would be cool. I'd like to see our live audience, sending a message that, yeah, I'm just sitting in my pool. I've got my laptop going. I'm watching this. I'm watching your stream from the pool with a beer in my hand and enjoying the cool.
I'd rather be at a cabin overlooking a lake on the back porch with a laptop on my lap. Yeah, I'm watching. I've seen the sunset over the mountains there. It's real beautiful.
You see, those are cool things.
Better if you live stream from that location.
I could live stream from the Poconos, but the best you get is my back porch with a good thunderstorm going on. That becomes fun, but yeah. It's.
Hey.
I don't have a great view because I got trees and houses around me. So, and we're not close to water. We're about a mile.
Oh, you're not.
No, we're not.
Wow. Well, you're the woods, right?
Yeah, I got the woods right across the street from me.
Okay. Okay. As long as you're in the woods, that's cool. Yeah, I'd love to have a lake there, but it's optional.
Yeah, my grandfather, God bless his soul. He used to dump his beer cans into the woods across the street back when they were, I guess, before they were aluminum. I guess they were like tin. So they would actually rust out. We would find them 20 years later. You felt guilty that your grandfather was dumping in the woods across from the house. But hey.
Yeah. Oh, shush, Bree, shush. Well, they're probably worth something now. Go dig them up if they're not all rusted out.
No, those are all rusted through, man. They're not like the aluminum cans that last forever. These
All
are
right.
corroded
Gotcha.
to hell.
All right.
Oh God.
What can I say? Well, this has been an interesting show.
Oh, it's been a bit of a ramble, but the rambles are good. Now, Glenn, when is your next game that you're playing in? Because I know you were
Monday
playing with the
online.
Long Island group. Okay.
Yeah. Jason wants me to show up 7 o'clock Saturday. I haven't answered him yet. I probably will.
Good for you.
We get about 2 hours in every week.
Hey,
Same with the Monday group.
That's good. You know.
Yeah.
You
I just wish I was
take
more
what you can get.
engaged with it. I wish I was more engaged with it. That's all. But he's a good guy, and I don't know. He's no. I'm not going to say it. Damn it! Shut up, Glenn. You know, you don't say things on a live stream where everybody can hear them. I'm not saying it's not bad or anything,
nothing.
but I'm not criticizing my friends.
There you go. Well, I mean,
I'll let Dyson do that.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Well, he doesn't criticize friends. He criticizes me. So he's not criticizing friends. You know, he's just doing I heard a rumor that Tenkar said that cats are blue and pigs are purple. Okay. All right. There's another rumor out there. Somebody ask Tenkar if it's true that he said this. I'm going to basically come down to, if you want to ask me questions, ask me in person. All right. I'm not answering random PMs online asking me questions about events from like 5 years ago.
There are times when I wish I was not such a nice guy. And that's all I got to say about that.
It's okay, Glenn. You're allowed. You don't always have to be nice.
I want to keep as many friends as I can. I mean, my God. I want to keep all the friends I can get. My God, I'm friends with Vince.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
that's not the easiest, but yeah, no, that's good.
Look, now I'm trashing Vince. I'm sorry, Vince. I'm not trying to trash anybody.
Listen, even Vince will say that he's a difficult person to get along with sometimes. I think we all are. You know, I think that is part of life, and somebody that you could get along with at a certain part of your life, suddenly you can't get along with at a later part of your life. Maybe
it happens. It happens.
Yeah. And it could be not their issue. It could be your issue. Maybe your patience.
True.
For that person.
Maybe you've changed. You've changed.
Yeah. So that's just part of the cycle.
Yeah.
Or the circle of life, isn't that what they called it in The Lion King?
The circle of life. Anyway, I think we need to wrap up.
All right.
On account of I gotta take a trip and go get Gage, and I got cold
you have
pizza.
You have all the munchkins over too.
Like I said, it's been a day.
It's been a day.
So,
folks,
it's been a day.
Thank you much. Listen, I couldn't think of a nicer way to hang out on my birthday than with people of this community. So really, really, thank you. And I 54. My heart failure doc has told my wife his plan is to have me get at least another 46 years in. So I don't know.
You're tracking me. You're tracking me by 10 years. I'm 64. So.
Well, there you go.
Stop following me.
No, stop following me, man. Stop following me, dude. Dude, again, thank you very much. If you like what we do, the best thing you can do is like and subscribe, comment. You know, really, that's the. We don't do this for money. We don't do this for sponsorship. We don't do this for awards. We do it for your feedback. And
when you see Tenkar, give him a big wet sloppy kiss.
So you're gonna make me want to stop going to conventions when you say.
Well, that's for James Spahn right there. So
James will fucking do it, dude. What the hell?
I know he will. I still
James-
got the stuff he wrote in his books when he gave them to me. I
James-
still love you, Glenn.
James is most likely, he's supposed to be going to ShireCon in September. And the game plan, and he's staying at the same bed and breakfast Rich and I are staying at. So the game plan is James should drive to New York, park at my house, and then from there we will drive up to Connecticut. So that way James doesn't have to drive all the way up from
Nice.
Maryland. So I figured that would be an easier way to handle it. We're going to the same place anyway. So if you go into ShireCon, you'll likely see James Spahn. I am not the get. James Spahn is the get. Jeff Talanian is the get. I just happen to be there. So, on that note,
All right.
folks,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll give a
Be
recap
safe.
of tonight,
Be
how it
well.
goes tomorrow. There you go.
Yeah.
Really
We'll
nice,
be
really
longer
well.
We'll be longer next time, folks. Don't forget Radio Grognard on
Radio
Anchor.
Grognard.
Gotta get my plug in there. Gotta get my plug.
Torchlight, and thank you, folks.
All right.
God bless. We're out of there. Out of here. Something.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.